Hey everybody, it's Pete. Welcome to Stock Trading Pro today. Today is probably the most important video you will ever watch from me. We talk about the topic that is on everybody's mind, and I really want to pump this up because it's really important. It's whether or not you should quit your job to become a full-time trader. I think you're probably watching this for that exact reason, whether it's to become semi-retired, whether it's to full-time retire, or whether it's to just quit your job. This video gets raw. This video gets real. It's probably not the answer that you're expecting. I give you the criteria. I give you what you should be accomplishing before you do it. I give you the psychological aspect of what you're going to go through when you quit your job, lose your benefits, and now everything's in your plate. I will tell you, I am probably the biggest person in the world that says, yeah, go for it. If you don't know, I had a trading firm. I actually had two trading firms in New York City. I've had this conversation with well over probably about 5,000 people at this point over the last 22 years. I am the biggest person that will say, go for it, go for your dreams. This is a very, very different conversation. Please watch this video. Please take it seriously. If you have comments, leave them below. I would love to have a discussion with you about this personally. Have a great day.
Planning to switch to full-time trading. All right. What's your criteria for a full-time new trader? Are you asking me as Pete from Stock Trading Pro, or you're asking me as Pete, your friend who knows that you're trading? If you're asking me as Pete, your friend, which I'd rather give you that answer first, might not be the answer you want, but it's the answer you need. I know that's a song somewhere. I have no idea where. The criteria, if we're talking quite frankly as a friend, is you need 6 months of profit, 3 to 6 months of profitable P&L that will replace your existing job and your existing benefits. 3 to 6 months of a track record that replaces your existing income and pays for your benefits. Whatever dollar amount that is, that's the God's honest answer. That's the answer that will say, yep, I got it. I'm going to replace all of that stuff that I have right now. That's Pete, the prop trading manager. Pete, the guy who has a firm in New York City, telling somebody who's thinking about quitting their job, you need to have first that track record, and you need to have 6 months worth of bills in the bank, 6 months worth of expenses in the bank. If you have that criteria, you're pretty good. If you have that criteria. If you do not have a track record of at least 3 to 6 months that will replace your income and replace your benefits, I'm saying this as a friend, I don't recommend quitting your job. I don't want to squash anybody's dreams. Nobody dreams bigger than I do. But I'm telling you from experience, and I'm telling you as a friend, trading with that safety net versus trading with no safety net, profits and losses will mess with your mind like nothing you've ever experienced before. And I'm saying that as a friend. I'm not saying that to tell you not to do it, because I have no idea whether you are accomplishing all of that or not. I'm telling you the smart way to do it. Okay. What are the activities and actions that you require every day if I were in your office? Same thing that we're doing. I treat everybody the same exact way as if you were in my office. You need to do your game planning. You need to do your scanning. You need to have a market bias. You need to have your list of stocks. You need to come to work to the office in your seat at least 45 minutes to an hour before the market opens to get into the flow of the day. Don't put yourself in a situation where commuting will get you to the office at 9:25 just as soon as the market opens. Other than that, be ready. Be ready to trade. Contribute to the daily game plan, even though it doesn't play out that often. That is absolutely not true. John, you've actually been calling quite a few stocks that have had intraday rallies and selling off. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've actually been complimenting you on the game plans, that your game plans have been good on the stocks that have pushed down. You're waiting for the rally and waiting for them to roll over. So I'm not sure I agree with that. From what I've seen, more than half of your ideas in your game plan have played out, and more than half is pretty darn good if you manage those trades properly. I'm on Discord following team members' calls trades. Is that enough to be a full-time trader? The answer is no. Absolutely not. And look, I'm not saying this to squash anybody's dreams. I'm saying this to save somebody from 6 months of hell if you don't have a track record. 6 months of maybe blowing through your savings if you don't have a track record. I'm telling you this as a friend. I'm not telling you this as Pete Stock Trading Pro. You have to think you have to replace your income, and you have to think that you're replacing your health benefits. If you are already earning enough money over at least the last 3 to 6 months, and preferably 6 months, and you have 6 months worth of expenses in the bank, then you got a shot. Then you have a shot at saying, I'm ready for this. But what you're not ready for right now is the mental change that profits and losses will mean to you. The mental change of what profits and losses will mean to you. And we get this a lot from people that are working full-time jobs. When they see somebody book a profit of $1 or book a profit of $2 on a day trade, or maybe get out of a swing trade after 2 days, and they're like, I don't understand. Why are you getting out of that? But that person is trading full-time and they need that to pay their mortgage. Trading full-time requires a level of commitment, both financially and mentally, that you need to be aware of and need to be ready to tackle. So I am not going to say go for it unless you are ready in the way that I just described. And I'm telling you this again, I am not saying this with an ego. I'm not saying this in a way that to make it about me, because I'm not. This is an answer for John here. I'm saying this because I own 2 prop trading firms. My office was on 457th Avenue in New York City, right across the street from Macy's, right across the street from Madison Square Garden. I am the real deal when it comes to answering this question. I had more conversations with people wanting to be professional traders, starting out as professional traders, getting their licenses, and having $5,000 in the bank and thinking that they were going to become a professional trader in 2 weeks. I am very qualified to give you the real answer on this. All of that criteria that I just gave you, if you want to do it right, where you stand a really good chance of doing it, have a track record, have money in the bank, then it makes sense to consider doing it. But just wanting to do it because you want to do it is a very different scenario than you're ready to do it. And I hope that you understand, and you've seen my bookshelf. Nobody has more personal motivation than I do. You'll never meet somebody more than I do that would say, imagine we can do that. Yeah, let's go try it. This is completely different. Quitting your job to be a full-time trader requires all of that criteria that I gave you to give yourself a chance. Because if you're trading right now with a full-time job, you have no idea what your mind is going to go through when you leave that job and you don't have that money coming in anymore. It's dramatically different. I hope everybody can accomplish it. I honestly do. But you need to earn your way there. You need to prove to yourself you have the discipline. You need to prove to yourself you can hold your winners. You have to prove to yourself you kick out your losses. You have to prove to yourself that if your game plan is not working, you keep your losses smaller and reasonable. You have to prove to yourself that when you have a game plan and everything you plan for is unfolding, that you have to make $3,000 and not $1,000. You have to have the guts to hold the trade that's winning because it's the right thing to do, instead of booking a profit simply because $1,000 is in front of you. That's all the criteria. You will never meet somebody who has more personal ambition, dream setting, goal setting, visions of what life can be than me. I do that every minute I'm awake. But when it comes to this topic, quitting your job to be a full-time trader, I'm telling you, think long and hard about it before you give your notice, because it is a very big life decision, a very, very big life decision. Now, look, if you're living with your parents, and I have no idea, if you're living with your parents or your significant other is making 6 figures and everything is, your bills are all being paid for, that's a different situation. Of course, you could take that risk. You don't have any other financial responsibilities, or your financial responsibilities are being taken care of. Think long and hard about every answer that I just gave, because I'm telling you that from 22 years of experience. That's a very big life decision to make. Very big life decision. So what are the activities? Nothing more than you're doing now, except you got to trade your ass off. You can't hesitate when you see a trade. You can't hesitate when you're supposed to get out, and you have to have the discipline to stay in. You have to have the courage and the ability to withstand adversity when the day is not working right. And I'll tell you this on the other side of things, you have to have the professionalism that when you're making money, you're not doing cartwheels in Discord because the person next to you is probably losing money that day. One of the biggest professional things that you need to learn when you become a professional trader, or when you're in a group with other people, you can talk about your wins. Don't brag about your wins, because I can virtually guarantee you, and I can't even tell you how many fights happened in my office where one person was having a good day and the big trader sitting 2 seats down from them was getting their clock cleaned that day, steam coming out of their ears because this new guy just made money for the first time in his life, dancing around. Act like you've been there before. Act like you've been there before. Don't act like you've like a 12-year-old. Act like a professional. That's a part of doing it full time as well. That's my long answer to a short question. And John, I hope you think about everything that I just said and take everything I just said to heart, because I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm telling you it could be a life-changing decision that you need to be prepared for. And if you listen to that criteria that I just gave you, I hope from the deepest part of my heart that you'd listen to me, because I have a lot of experience. This is the one subject that very, very few people in our industry can say they have the same experience as I do. There's a lot of people that are experienced traders. There's not a lot of people that are experienced traders that have managed, mentored, and watched people cry in their office like I have for the last 22 years. Please take my answer to heart. Please take my answer to heart. I want to see you succeed in a way that you could never imagine. This is a very big life decision. Please listen to everything that I said there and write down all the pros and cons and all of the stuff you're bringing, including that track record and all of that. And that'll help you make a good decision.